Hi everybody from TechnoLost, so welcome to the dedicated focus on the multimedia capabilities for what concerns this Asus Nexus 7 2013. So let's just remind quickly a few hardware specs of this device for what concerns the multimedia side. We have the front-facing camera, which is 1.9 megapixel. We have the rear camera, which is 5 megapixel. This sensor is not backside illuminated, and the lens has an aperture size on f2.4. So, given this hardware, and maybe another relevant things is the fact that this device has dual stereo speaker. We can see the first one here on the top and the other one here in the lower part of the device. So, given the fact that we have this hardware, we can, start giving a look to the camera UI to see what we have here. This is nothing but the stock camera UI of all Nexus devices. Here, given the fact that we don't have a backside illuminated sensor, it's just 5 megapixel, as it was for the previous Nexus 10, we don't have any HDR mode. All the settings here are, reachable pressing the circle here, circle button, or we can just keep pressing, anywhere in the screen when we have the camera activated here to reveal the setting menu. We have nothing but the exposure menu. This button let us switch between the front facing camera and the rear facing camera, and we have few other settings here for what concerns picture. We have geotagging, we have here the countdown timer, we have picture size, and we can choose between 5, 3, 2, 1 VGA and QVGA. Then we have, what else here? We have white balance and even scene selection. Although, we have just body, sunset, noon, night, and action. So these are all the night mode present, all the scene present into this device. Taking a picture is quite straightforward. You just have to touch the focus and then press the button. As you can see, it's pretty fast. We even have this gesture here, swiping from left to right, from right to left, we can reveal all the picture taken by this camera, and we can even swipe up or down to immediately delete a picture. So these are all the stuff more or less dealing with the camera. We have here the selector for what concerns the picture taking or video recording mode. We have photosphere, which is I've already talked about it into the previous devices like Nexus 4 or even Nexus 10. We can take picture and create collage together many picture, having some kind of street view effect. We have panoramic mode. Just take the first picture and then swipe left to right or right to left to merge together the result. We have video recording mode, and when we start recording video, if we touch the screen, we even take a shot. And then we have, of course, normal picture taking mode. So swiping here from right to left, we can quickly remove what we don't want. So this is the camera UI. So now we can give a look to the gallery UI of this Nexus 10 2013. Of course, the gallery 2 is nothing but a stock gallery. We have this way of grouping together things by albums, or we have location, which sadly doesn't have the nice map view, but it's just a way of grouping picture by position. We have times, which is nothing but a timetable. We have people, where we can assign tags to some faces, and we have tags in general. So this is more or less everything dealing with the camera, given the fact that we don't have that much settings or even editing here. If we select a picture, for instance, we can press the edit button, and we have this quick way of editing picture. Here we have some filters a la Instagram. We even have some frames that we can apply to the picture. Here it is loading all the frames. We have some editing effect, like editing action. We can crop, straighten, rotate, or mirror, for instance. And here we have some adjustment for what concerns color, exposure, contrast and brightness, and so on. So these are more or less all the things dealing with the picture editing. We can even go on and give a look to the video editing part, where we can, for instance, trim down a video. This is the only things that we can do. Trim here, and we can of course change the start and the end of this video and create a new subsequence of the previous one. And this is the editing for what concerns the video side. So we saw more or less all the things dealing with the camera UI. So now we can give a look to the picture quality of this device. When we have a good light condition, like in this case, for instance, the device does take even not nice picture, not that bad. I mean, they are not the best in the world, definitely, but it's a good amount of details to be a 5 megapixel camera. Of course, here we have good light condition, but as you can see, we don't have HDR mode, as I told you, so we don't have that many things that we can do when shooting against direct sunlight, like in this case, but obtain some lens flare. We should have other picture taken against direct sunlight, if I'm not wrong. Here we go. Even this one, you cannot do that much. You don't have HDR, so the best you can do is not to point directly to the sun, otherwise you will have a huge lens flare effect. These are the macro, quite good indeed. Of course, here we have good light condition once more, and even this one, for instance, very good quality for macro shot, not bad. The panorama picture are not that nice at all. I mean, they are not bad, but there's so such a loss of details. This is because we have very low resolution for this. Sorry, let me show you details. Picture was taken with a wide of 2192 and a height of 456. Wow, this is a very tiny shot, let me tell you. At least this is not the correct size for a panorama picture, at least if you want some details in it. This is what happened. If you zoom in, you see that we have a completely loss of details. Look at this grass, is all messed up, and it's all it's like a carpet. It's a green carpet, but we cannot distinguish anything. This is a pity. Slightly better for what concern the photosphere here. The picture is not bad. With what concern, of course, resolution. The resolution of this picture is 5146 for 1447, quite bigger one than the previous panorama picture. And the overall effect of this photosphere is quite pretty good. We have this nice effects like being in street view. We don't have that much of problem with the merging algorithm, although as you can see here with these cards, although here we had some problem, but the overall quality and the final result for the what concern photosphere is not bad at all. Of course, we have some loss of details. Look at this grass here. We have quite good details, at least not bad, but we lose definitely details when we go straight on with the picture, probably because when we're taking picture of this part of the scene, we were deadly pointing at this part of the scene, while when we were taking picture here in this part, we were focusing on other stuff than the grass. That's why we had this evident loss of details from here to here, for instance. Overall, the quality is quite good, not bad at all. We have different, things for what considered night mode. The first of things that I want to tell you is that even if you use night mode, you don't have any gain in quality for what considered night picture. We have so many, noise. There's so much noise here, and probably it's due to the fact that we have just 5 megapixels. We don't even have a backside illuminated sensor. This is quite common, and we have to be even honest, considering that usually tablets don't have such a great camera sensor, and this Nexus 7, although the new Nexus 7 2013 has the same kind of camera. So as you can see, we have a good amount of noise into this night mode picture nevertheless. So we consider the picture taking quality of this device. Now we can talk about the video. This is the 1080p video, sorry. Okay, the quality of this video is, not bad and not good at the same time. We don't have that much of details, and overall the audio quality is not that good, considering the fact that it's recording in mono, not in stereo, even not in stereo mode. But it's not that bad for what concerns smoothness, although we have some stuttering, we can see it, but I wasn't expecting anything better from this 5 megapixel sensor. The 720p has, the same defect of the Big Brother 1080p. So we can see the loss of details, and we can even see that sometimes there's some stuttering, but nothing dramatic, but there's some stuttering and you can see it. Speaking about video quality and some tech specs of this video, the 1080p video was recording at 12.1 megabit per second bit rate with an audio quality of 96 kilobit per second, 48 kilohertz mono. The same goes for the 720p, which has the same kind of audio quality, which is 96 kilobit per second and 48 kilohertz, and it's just recording in mono. The bitrate for the 720p video is 8 megabit per second, sorry. So we saw the quality of this device for concern picture taking and video recording. Now we can talk about video playback. As almost any other high-end devices nowadays, if we use stock player to reproduce video, we can reproduce just the video of MKV file, and this Nexus 7 2013 makes no exception. This is a 720p MKV file, just video. And here we have the 1080p MKV file. This one too is just video. For what concern other video format, we don't have any kind of problem with MP4, of course, but we do have some problem with any other format like DivX, Xvid, and Windows Media Video, for instance. But if we use third-party players like Dice Player or even MX Player, we can solve almost any kind of problem this device has in video playback. Just let me show you. If we use Dice Player, for instance, we won't have any kind of problem in reproducing MKV file, both video and hardware in video and audio, in hardware acceleration. Just let me show you. Video, test video, and test MKV. This is the previous 720p. As you can hear, we even have the audio playback. And this is the 1080p. Audio and video with hardware acceleration, no kind of problem. On the other side, if we switch back to MX Player, We won't have problem instead in reproducing, for instance, even Windows Media Video files, or even DivX, or even Xvid. Just let me show you. Here we have the Windows Media Video file. This is the 480p. No problem. Then we have the 720p Windows Media Video. We can of course reproduce this video, but I do tell you that we have some problem for what concern video and audio synchronization here. You see the video was always late in regard of the audio playback, and here it's the 1080p. I mean, we can even reproduce Windows Media Video 1080p files, but pretty sure that we will have some problem for what concern video and audio playback synchronization. But we don't have any problem for what concern, for instance, Xvid file. This is a 1080p Xvid, sorry, not this one. This is the DivX video. Okay, we have some problem reproducing Xvid video with the MX player, but we don't have any kind of problem with the previous dice player. Just let me show you. So the final result is that using both dice player and MX player, which I do remind you are both free on the Play Store, you won't have any kind of problem in reproducing almost any possible video file format. This is the Xvid video. So as you can see, no problem reproducing the Xvid video. This is 1080p with dice player. So this was all for what concerned the video playback. Now we can talk about the audio playback. The audio playback, here we have the Google Play Music, nothing but the Google Play Music, of course, which is not different from what you could download on any device which has the access to the Play Store. The interface to me is not that bad at all, and if you already know the Play Music from Google, you know that we have a pretty standard equalization here. If we get into the setting, we have the equalizer, and here we have some already set preset, or we can even adjust on our own some settings here who concern boost, bust, or boost story, or surround sound. So even some frequencies, nothing special, but quite useful nevertheless. These dual stereo speakers are pretty high for what concern volume. Of course, they are not the best in the world. We have some problem for what concern bass lacking, but this is quite common on any tablet or Android device. Maybe to me the only downside of having the speakers here, although they have a pretty high volume, is that when we play, for instance, we have our hands in this position. Let me show you, sorry. Like this, and it's quite easy to cover completely the speaker system and to have moved out sound, but maybe a front facing speaker would have been really even better. But nevertheless, these speakers are quite good and they have quite high volume. So for what concerns this dedicated focus on the multimedia capabilities of this Asus Nexus 2013, that's all. What's more, thanks for watching, and bye from TechnoLost.